So we have seen the bending stress distribution here. M by bending stress expression M by I is equal to sigma B by Y is equal to E by R. And here I have drawn a few sections, which is a few sections are symmetric about both the axes, channel which is symmetric about x-axis. And here I have plotted the bending stress distribution. And we have learned that the bending stress distribution is linear. That is, bending stress is directly proportional to Y. So we have a linear variation stress distribution sigma b suffix c. If the beam is a simply supported beam means above the neutral axis, the nature of the bending stress is compression. Below the neutral axis, nature of the bending stress is tension. And remember always along the neutral axis, the bending stress is zero. So the value of M depends upon the type of loads acting on the beam, whether it's a point load or UDL or a triangular load or a couple, and type of beam, whether it's a simply supported beam or a cantilever beam, whatever it is. Okay. And
No, no.
if you look at this type of load and type of beam means, for example, if point load alone is acting on the beam means, you have the formula for getting the value for M, that is WL by 4, and UDL alone is acting on a simply supported beam, WL square by 8, like that. If a combination of more than one load is acting means we need to draw the shear force diagram, and we need to identify where the zero shear force location occurs. That location determines the location of maximum bending moment. Then about that location we have to take moment to determine the value of maximum bending moment. That value we have to substitute in place of M. I depends on the type of cross section. Okay, for example, for rectangle BDQ by 12, for circular pi d power 4 by 64. For I we have to calculate, for channel section we have to calculate, for T section we have to calculate by dividing that by dividing the given section into the rectangle sections. Now here I have taken a simply supported beam having rectangle section, width is B and depth is D, and the expression is M by I is equal to sigma B by Y. So remember, in solid mechanics, throughout solid mechanics course, we assume that our load is acting along y-axis, and the beam bending moment is produced about x-axis. So this expression is nothing but mx by ixx, mx divided by ixx, but we are not writing that suffix. It is understood M by I is nothing but Ixx. So for rectangle section, I is nothing but BDQ by 12. For circular section, pi d power 4 by 64, like that. Y is nothing but, if the section is symmetric about x-axis, total depth divided by 2. Okay. So here also total depth divided by 2. Here also total depth divided by 2. Here also Y is nothing but total depth divided by 2. Okay. So the magnitude of bending stress above the neutral axis and below the neutral axis will be same, but only the nature differs, compression and tension, but magnitude wise same if the given section is symmetric about x-axis. Okay, if the given section is not symmetric about x-axis means situation changes. Okay, situation changes, that we need to keep in mind. So here I have taken I section which is symmetric about both x-axis and y-axis. I call it as a doubly symmetric. I've given the dimensions, top flange. This is called as a flange, top flange, bottom flange. This is the web. Okay, web height, web thickness is given. Everything is given. So M by I is equal to sigma B by Y. Okay, M depends on the type of load and beam, and sigma B is the bending stress, and Y is the distance from the neutral axis, and I depends on the type of cross section. Now, how to determine the value of I for this I section? This you might have studied in engineering mechanics. You might have studied in engineering mechanics itself. Okay. So here let me explain how I have calculated this I value. So that is B d cube by 12, 100 into 10 cube by 12 plus area of this 100 into 10 into distance square. That is distance from the neutral axis to this section 1 centroid, this distance. So this distance is nothing but 50 square. Same section I am having at the bottom also, same dimension, same distance from the neutral axis. So I can multiply by 2. I can multiply by 2 plus the web one b d cube by 12. Okay, b d cube by 12. So if you just simplify this, I get 5.87 into 10 power 6. So we have obtained I value. M depends on the type of load, on type of beam, and Y is nothing but total depth divided by 2. So total depth is 100. So 100 divided by 2 is nothing but 50. Y is nothing but 50 millimeter. So with this, you can find the bending stress, which is of same magnitude on the top and bottom of the, that is above and below the neutral axis. But only the nature changes for a simply supported beam. Above the neutral axis compression, and below the neutral axis it is tension, that we need to remember. Now let us take another I section. Now this I section is symmetric about y axis, but unsymmetric about x axis. So, but we need to locate x axis. So immediately we have to locate this centroid. Okay, that is y bar is equal to sigma a y bar by sigma a formula. So let me divide the given section into section 1, section 2, section 3, three rectangle sections. I have taken this as my reference point. Okay, this as my reference point, and from this reference point, for section 1 centroid, vertical distance from this reference point to the individual section centroid, this is my y1, and this is my y2, and this is my y3. So y1 is 95 millimeter, and y2 is 45 plus 40 plus 10, 50, and y3 is 10 divided by 2. Okay, 10 divided by 2, 5. And a1 area 100 into 10, a2 is 80 into 20, a3 is 80 into 10. Okay, so by having this a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3 is nothing but y bar. Okay, so after obtaining, this is the y bar, this is our reference point. So this is just, we are now locating the x axis of the neutral axis at a distance of 52.64 millimeter above the reference point. Now this is our neutral axis or x axis. Now we have to determine I value. So BD cube by 12 plus area into distance square for the section 1, BD cube by 12, 100 into 10 cube by 12 plus the area is 1000, distance is y1 minus y bar the whole square, plus similarly section 3, 80 into 10 cube by 12 plus 800 is the area into y3 minus y bar the whole square. Similarly, plus for the top section 2, 20 into 80 cube by 12 plus area is 1600 into y2 minus y bar the whole square, right? So if you just simplify this, I'm getting 4.489 into 10 power 6 mm power 4. Now we just simply plug this value in this expression. You see, m by I is equal to sigma b by y is expression. So m with respect to the, it varies with respect to the given load and type of beam. I we have obtained, and this is nothing but, now I want to find sigma bc, that is the maximum bending stress, which is compressive in nature. I have to find that value, sigma bc. So this is my y value, this is my y value to find sigma bc. So I have just taken this value 47.36. How I have obtained this? 100 minus 52.64 is nothing but 47.36 millimeter. Okay, so sigma bc, m is given, I is known, just cross multiply it, you will get sigma bc. Sigma bt, how will you find? I have to consider this y value 52.64. So I can just, by cross multiplying it, I can get the value for bending stress, which is tensile in nature. So next section, we will just go for the T section. Okay, the flange width is 100 millimeter, flange thickness is 10 millimeter, and the web height is 90 millimeter, web thickness is 20 millimeter. It is symmetric about y axis alone. Okay, now to locate the x axis, we have to determine y bar. I have taken this as my reference point. I have divided this T section into two rectangle sections. For section 1, this is the centroid, and for section 2, this is centroid. Centroid is obtained just by drawing the two diagonals. Intersection of these two diagonals, I will give you the centroid for the selected rectangle section. A1 100 into 10, A2 is 90 into 20, 1800 mm square. Y1 is the vertical distance from the reference point to the individual section centroid. Okay, so from here to here, how much Y1, and from here to here, how much Y2. Okay, so Y bar is summation of sigma AY divided by sigma A1 Y1 plus A2 Y2 divided by A1 plus A2. You get Y bar is to be 62.85 millimeter above the reference point. So this is our location of the Y axis, sorry, x axis or neutral axis. Then I is equal to 100 into 10 cube by 12 plus area into y1 minus y bar the whole square plus 20 into 90 cube by 12, 20 into 90 cube by 12 plus area 1800 into y2 minus y bar the whole square. If you just simplify it, you will get 2.83 into 10 power 6 mm power 4. So we know the expression m by I is equal to sigma b by y. So this is nothing but 37.15, that is 100 minus 62.85 is 37.15. To get this bending stress, you have to consider this as your y value. To get this bending stress, I have to consider this as my y value. So here this should be 37.15. By mistake, I written 37.5. So this is 62.85. Just cross multiply, you will get the bending stress, which is compressive in nature above the neutral axis for the case of simply supported beam. And if you just cross multiply, you will get bending stress, which is tensile in nature below the neutral axis for a simply supported beam. Thank you.